Good afternoon or good day to you wherever you are watching me from. You are welcome to Isuntéré Educational TV. And in this video, I want to bring you into the knowledge of several scientific principles that are clearly explained within the Yoruba oral forms. The Yoruba people are peculiar, just like any other African nation, because the library of information is abstract and not solid. Many of the informations on scientific knowledge and principles that are well explained in Western science knowledge form are curated within our oral literature. Many literature and research has been carried out to document many of these many of this oral form as far as their intersection with science, technology, education, engineering, and mathematics. In this video today, I'll be bringing in an expert in the Yoruba oral form who will give us some of the examples of the Yoruba oral literature and the oral forms in poetry that will explain some scientific principle. With me this afternoon, I have Dr. Ifeoluwa Akinshola of the Department of Arts and Social Science Education, University of Ibadan. I am Dr. Nathaniel Omilani of the Department of Science and Technology Education. Dr. Ife, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Omilani, for having me on your program today. And good day to our viewers. Thank you for bringing up this important topic. And just as you have said, the Yoruba oral literary forms, the Yoruba oral literature is the collection of words, verbal performances of the Yoruba people that show their wealth of knowledge and experiences about their environment, science and technology. There are countless oral literature, there are countless forms and examples that actually show this body of scientific knowledge. Let me just give an example of Èkún Ìyàwó. Èkún Ìyàwó.
What's the purpose of Èkún Ìyàwó?
Èkún Ìyàwó is to dágbére for your family. They chant
the performance during the wedding ceremony of the Yoruba people.
Exactly.
Just to bid farewell to the bride's family.
So Èkún Ìyàwó is to bid farewell to the bride family, that the bride to be chants in bidding her own family farewell. And the significance is in that farewell itself. But in trying to bid farewell, there are words that show our own experiences of the environment, trying to bring up some metaphors of the environment in the chant. And a typical example is if someone, a bride-to-be, is chanting Èkún Ìyàwó, they normally say that she says that Mojawe ya modana suko, Mojawe ya modana suko, Moja popondo modana asulele, Mosomu gagara waye modana ọkùnrin, Mojodele ọkọ na mi npankan, Mojodele ale alele mi sise o, Eba nkoko poku use, Eba nkale poku asedanu. The first 2 or 3 lines of that chant, Mojawe ya modana asuko, Moja popondo modana asulele.
Wonderful.
As a science
now
expert,
that's very interesting, because the metaphor in that Èkún Ìyàwó is speaking to the fact that when I take a leaf from iya, you know, yeah, the leaf is used to package the eko in the Yoruba community. But the point is that there were two lines talking about ewe, mo jáwé ya, mo dáràn àsùkọ, mo jáwé popondo, mo dáràn àsùlẹ̀lẹ̀. Now the eko, that ewe ya is used to pack eko. Popondo is like a legume in the class of beans that is usually used to make what we call moi moi nowadays, beans pudding, as if that's the word. So within that line, the presenter of that oral form, curated within that oral form, is the explanation about the relationship between the leaf of a plant and the growth and development of the plants. So what the presenter is actually talking about is that within that performance, there is an established link between the role of a leaf to the production of the plants. The suolele means that when you remove the popondo leaf, that popondo will not be able to do photosynthesis because they use leaf for photosynthesis. So as a result of the removal of the leaf, the photosynthesis will not take place, and as a result of that, there will be no more popondo, and the asulele, the person making moi moi, will not have enough to. So it may be very simple that everybody should know that if a plant does not have a leaf, it will not produce well. But it is beyond that, because we can also say graffiti is simple. But so within that system, they have already established that relationship. So can you give us another example of another oral form?
Yeah, of course, there are several Yoruba oral forms that relate to the environment and that show the Yoruba knowledge of the environment, especially science, technology, and all of that. A typical oral literature form is ofo, which is incantation, and technically it speaks to what you offer, what is spoken, and what is chanted to invoke spirituality, some sense of spirituality. Ofo, an example of ofo is the one that talks about Ìgbín, Ìjàpá, and it goes thus. Bí ìgbín bá ṣú, á fàyè ẹ̀kọ. Bí ìjàpá bá ṣú, á fàyè ẹ̀kọ. I don't know as...
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Ife. Within that incantatory poetry that you just gave us, they brought two animals together that have exoskeleton, and they are although they are of different family, but what we will now notice is that incantatory poetry form profiles or curated in it the characteristics of molluscas and reptilia. That means both of them, they usually crawl. They are crawling animal. They crawl on the ground. So they are actually profiling the characteristic of animal within that particular incantatory poetry form.
What about if we say ilẹ̀ kì í rorò kí ìrorò kó má bàa gbé?
That's another one. Iroro is also a legume, and the legume actually has the nitrogen fixing property. This is the meaning. When they say ilẹ̀ kì í rorò kí ìrorò má bàa gbé, what they are saying simply is that no matter how infertile a particular soil is, no matter how lacking in nutrients the soil is, that particular soil will accommodate iroro plants, which is a legume. So it means that without the required nutrients, because iroro is a legume that can fix its own nitrogen, phosphorus, and other nutrients required for growth, you know. So as a result of that, from their observation, they discovered that this plant thrives even in soil that are non-nutritious. So it is an observation that this is, although they may not have the knowledge of nitrogen fixation, that means legumes that could nodulate, they could actually fix their own nitrogen, but they have observed that this particular plant is having the ability to actually fix its own nitrogen, and when the soil is not rich in nitrogen, it will thrive there. So they have that knowledge long before we came across the indigenous, the Western form of knowing. So, Dr. Ife, as we conclude now, we can say that in our STEM classes, there is a role that the Yoruba oral form could play.
Yeah, maybe we can begin to say STEAM now, and not STEM.
All right,
because
which is science, technology, engineering, now arts and mathematics. So when we integrate this, so it means that a teacher can come into a classroom. The teacher intends to teach nitrogen fixation, and it can start with that particular proverb on iroro, incantation that iroro, ileki iroro, mo iroro, koma bagbe. So the essence of this video, as we wrap up, is to explain to us that there is an intersection between the Yoruba incantatory or the Yoruba oral forms. It could be Èkún Ìyàwó, it could be incantatory, poetic, it could be Jala. The lyrical, curated within these lyrics are things that are speaking to the explanation of natural phenomenon, which can be integrated into the classroom as instructional resources. For example, when somebody is teaching in a rural school, it is useful. In a city school, even in elite school, it is useful. But before we go, may I ask you that, let's say a child is in the elite school, where Yoruba language is no longer what we can call those children L1. It's not the mother tongue. Yoruba language is no longer the mother tongue for many children growing up. Does this thing that we are discussing, does it have a role to play? Of
course, it has a role to play, but you'll be doing more work. There are more tasks for the teachers to really explain the environment, explain those plants, those indigenous knowledge system before you now. You also need to explain the language to them, help them understand the oral literature, the culture, before they could apply the knowledge of those indigenous science and technology to learning modern science. It has a role to play, but these are problems that we keep talking about when it comes to the teaching of science and technology using indigenous knowledge system. And I think that government at all levels, stakeholders at all levels, government at all levels should stand up, rise up to this challenge, and make informed policies that will help ameliorate the problem. Thank you.
Can you do that, Èkún Ìyàwó, again, and we just conclude? I love the sound.
Mojawe ya modana asuko, moja popo do modana asulele. Mosamu gagara waye modana ọkùnrin, mojodele ọkọ, ọkọ na mi npọn nǹkan, mojodele ale alele mi sisi o, eba nkoko poku use, eba nkale poku ase danu.
Thank you very much, and see you in another video. Kindly like and subscribe to the Isuntéré Educational TV channel. Thank you.